Hi, this is Yolanda Vanveen from VanveenBulbs.com. And in this segment, we're going to learn all about how to water my garden. When is the best time and how to water it? So when I'm watering my garden, I pretty much let my garden tell me when to water it. And it depends on the weather, too. If we have pretty cloudy weather for a lot of days, then usually the areas in the sun, a lot of them, they're not drying up much. When my plants are looking really wilty, then I know it's time to give them a little drink. They need some water. The best time to water your garden, for me, is actually the evenings. When it's really, really hot outside, they take a thrashing, especially when it's 90 to 100 degrees. So if I water them in the morning, like a lot of experts say you should to avoid mold, and I found that they just don't get enough time to soak it up. So in the heat of the summer, it doesn't get that, it's so dry at night, that the best time is late evening. So I try not to water between maybe 10 and 5, but from 5 at night to 10 in the morning, I water as much as I can. Now there's different ways that you can water. You can mist. A lot of times when things are in bloom and I don't want to do a lot of damage to them, I will mist them. The flower itself, but you notice when you're misting, the bottom or the plants or the bulbs themselves, they're not getting a lot of water. So it's going to take a long time for them to get any water. So especially on the bottom where they need the water the most, I really soak them. Now I've got it on my shower, but I don't even use a sprayer. I just use my finger and play with it, and there's so much fun. I love on a hot summer day to play in the garden and turn the water on and get a little bit wet. So the key is make sure that you're not just misting your plants. You are soaking it. You're actually standing here and soaking it. I can always throw a sprinkler on too. You can just leave the sprinkler, not just for 10 minutes, leave it on like an hour. When it's really hot out, they really need to soak. And I found by soaking them, you don't need to water them half as much. I soak once a week or twice a week when it's really hot, and that's pretty much it. If I misted once a day, they still probably wouldn't get enough water. But if I soak them, they're going to really soak that water up, and it's going to last. So an easy trick, too, is now I've watered it, and I put my finger in there, and it's pretty wet all the way through. But if I were to put my finger in there and it was pretty dry, even to the bottom, then I know that I should probably water. And so it's really easy. When I garden, I try not to worry about it too much. And it's one of those things you can kind of catch up on. So if I have a free evening and it's a hot summer day, I might water for 2-3 hours straight. But then I don't need to water for another 4 or 5 days. Or if I'm in a hurry, I might just come out here, throw the sprinkler on, get something to eat, and go again. But I'm still giving them some water. So it's really easy to let your plants tell you what to do. If they're looking lush, if they're looking good, then you know you're watering them enough. If they look too dry, then you know that they probably need some more water. So just be careful not to overwater either. So if it's just constantly a mud pit and you're never letting it dry out in between the watering, a lot of times you lose plants that way too because they can't get any oxygen down there. So the plants pretty much just suffocate. So make sure too, another trick, make sure you actually dry it out. So 2 mistakes people make is not enough water or too much water. So survival of the fittest, I think it's better to actually let things bloom and let them dry out quite a bit in between watering. You'll find you'll get a lot more blooms in the end. If they're wet all the time, they don't bloom half as well as if they actually really dry out.